A 60-minute effort and 22 shots led to nothing but frustration for the Devils 2 nights ago. Their latest defeat, snapping a 3-game win streak. Yet tonight, we reach the midway mark of a National Hockey League season that's seen them exceed expectations. 20 wins, fantastic finishes, including one here in Montreal earlier this season. In winning their first 9 games, the Canadiens appeared unstoppable months ago. 2016 began with a convincing performance in the great outdoors, and tonight they host the Devils. Next.
Welcome to Montreal, one of the most scenic cities in all of Canada. The Bell Centre, one of the most electric, if not the loudest arenas in all of the National Hockey League. The third matchup of the season between the Devils and Canadiens, and the opening face-off is coming up. The Knicks are also on tonight. They're on MSG and MSG Go as they take on the Miami Heat. But we're glad you're with us for the third and final regular season meeting between the Devils and the Canadiens right here on MSG+. Welcome inside the Bell Centre in Montreal. I'm Deb Placey, and it might be extra loud here in the arena tonight. The Habs have not been home since December 17th. They had a long and winding 8-game road trip, which included outdoors at the Winter Classic and a game last night in Philadelphia. For more on this one, we go to our guys who will call it Steve Cangelosi and Ken Danico.
All right, thank you very much, Deb. We're ready to go here, the Devils and Canadiens, and for New Jersey, a team that obviously looking to have another big outing here in Montreal this evening. They were shut out in their previous game, the Devils were, and they're without their leading scorer, Mike Camilleri, once again here tonight. But the big picture for the Devils is this. They hit the halfway mark of their season tonight, and they're in a playoff position. Now, the mass media here in Montreal today was surrounding John Hynes with questions along the lines of, how have you done this? And the most telling answer from John was this: we have not surprised ourselves. So I'll turn to Ken Danico. They're halfway home, the Devils are. What's gotten them this far?
Well, fortunately, they didn't listen to the prognosticators before the start of the season that they weren't going to win many hockey games. They believe in each other. They believe in themselves. And it has shown this season, Steve. And we look at some of the action early on, and what a great acquisition. Another big reason why the Devils are where they are. Kyle Palmieri, their leading goal scorer, scores a beauty against Philadelphia early. They're against the Vancouver Canucks. And again, another one against Philadelphia. He has just been an energizing player, a force, a shot. He's done it all for these Devils, and he scored big goals. This one game against the Rangers, their first one, kind of got them going. The overtime goal, their first win with Lee Stempniak, who's also played extremely well. And Adam Larson chips in an overtime goal against Phoenix. And then we seen here, we remember a few weeks back, John Moore with that beautiful overtime goal feed from Adam Henrique right here in Montreal. So they've gotten contributions from everybody. They believe they played great team defense, but look no further why the Devils are where they are, because of this man in the net, Corey Schneider, the all-star. He has been absolutely terrific all season long, giving them a chance to win. And the defense in general, a lot of people will say not a lot of big names on the back end. They have played extremely well as a 6-man unit, Steve, all season long. Not a lot of mistakes. They don't beat themselves. And how about John Moore and David Schlemko, the additions of these two guys? They have been terrific for this team as well. They've stepped in and played big minutes, done a great job for them.
Schlemko misses tonight's game due to injury. More on the lineup changes as we move a little bit closer to the opening face-off. The Devils' first-year captain, of course, is Andy Green, and he hits a major milestone tonight, playing in his 600th NHL game, and he does so by continuing an impressive consecutive games played streak that's at 270 and counting, 6th longest in Devils history, 2nd longest for a defenseman after Dano. Their leader in ice time, their leader in so many ways. We felt it appropriate tonight to chat with Andy about the season thus far and what 600 games played for an undrafted player means to him.
Not necessarily right now when you're looking back at it, but maybe in a few years there when you're done looking at it and see it, the different milestones you hit throughout throughout your career. Obviously, just like everybody else, you want that first game, and that's all you're worried about when you're growing up. And coming through college and the minors there is just being able to play that first game. And then once you play that first game, you start setting goals. Is how do I stick here? How do I become an everyday player? How do I become a consistent player? And you just kind of learn throughout the year and try to figure out those what it takes to be a good pro. And luckily I had a lot of good guys here when I was younger, and that showed me, led the way, and it was a great experience.
You'll hit the halfway mark of a season tonight where you're in the playoff hunt. How much have you enjoyed this?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been obviously we've been very excited with how we've been playing, and like you said, we're only halfway there. It doesn't really mean much at the halfway point of the year, but it means we've set ourselves up to keep us in the conversation and to be in that push for the final. 41 games there, and the last couple of years where we weren't quite out of it, but it would take a miraculous run there to get ourselves in the playoff and do that. And so this year it's nice, like I said, to be able to set us up for the playoff push here in the next couple of months here and go from there.
Your coach has made adjustments, and one of them, you have had a new defensive partner the last several games, John Moore. What kind of an adjustment has it been for you, and how has the partnership gone with John?
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously after the Carolina game, I think everything got kind of jumbled up, forward lines, D lines, and everything, and it was a little shake-up, and it worked. Obviously, we went on a 3-game winning streak there, and played well even on the 4th game when we lost to Detroit. And it's been real well playing with Johnny. The only difference is when you're making DD passes, I got to make sure I put him in a good spot because he's on his offhand, right? So you can't. Sometimes he wants it on his backhand because it's easier, and sometimes he wants it on his forehand. So that's one thing that I've played right quite a bit a couple years ago, and it's always making sure you know what you're doing with the puck before, because if not, it's tough. It's it's coffin corner. They call it coffin corner for a reason, because it's tough. You got your blind side of the puck there, and you can't see that ice. And but Johnny did a great job back there, and continue to play well with him.
Canadians are home tonight for the first time since December 17th. Their crowd will be into it, excited about their victory in the Winter Classic New Year's Day. How tough of an assignment is this?
Yeah, it's always tough when you come in here. Obviously it's always a great atmosphere, great feeling to come in there, and they're going to come out hard. They're probably not happy with their game last night against Philly, and we got to make sure we jump on them early, knowing that they played last night and had to travel and get here. And I think that's really important for us. Obviously, is our start, and then obviously build off the start.
Well, in the old days, 600 games played used to mean you got your own hotel room. The rules have changed now with the collective bargaining agreement, but for Andy Green, 600, that means a lot for him.
It really is remarkable. A guy that had nothing handed to him, undrafted like you mentioned, Steve, and all the way to the 600th game as a New Jersey Devil and the captain, the leader of this hockey club. He has not cheated the game. He's acted like a true professional. He's a pleasure to be around because he works hard in practice, in games. He's just gotten better and better every year. And let's not hide the fact that it is a special honor to be named captain of any hockey team. That shows what this organization thinks of him, and Andy Green should be very proud of this 600-game milestone. It's not easy these days. He plays a lot of hard minutes, and also an Ironman as well right now. Played a lot of consecutive games.
Behind us here in Montreal, there's a tribute going on to the late Dickie Moore, who's being honored this evening. Ready to go at the Bell Center. Remember the Devils' last game here. Patrick Elias got the comeback started. Kyle Palmieri tied it, and then John Moore won it in overtime. The rematch at Bell Center.
Back to the Bell Center. It's a new all-star format this year. They're going to play 3-on-3, so 8 goaltenders will split the minutes. How much can one goaltender take? Barry Trotz will coach the Metropolitan Division. Alex Ovechkin, along with Nicholas Backstrom and Braden Holtby. And for the Devils, their representative will be Corey Schneider.
Really exciting, really honored. A couple guys in this team who could have been considered and selected, so the fact that I've been chosen, it's exciting, and it's a great honor. Like I said, it's a privilege, I think. So a lot of credit to my teammates and coaches. Everyone's committed to defense all year long. I think I've been the beneficiary of that, but at the same time, it's a fun time right now. It's going to be interesting. Got to make sure I'm warmed up, but at the same time, I don't think guys are hopefully, the goalies at least, we're going to be smart about it. We're not going to do things that are going to put us in harm's way. And again, if they can survive hopefully 10 minutes, 10 minutes per goalie. So I'd like to think I'm in good enough shape that I can do that.
It's really well deserved. He's it gives us a chance to win every night he plays. He makes the routine saves look easy, and some of the difficult saves look pretty easy too. He's a huge part of our team and gives us a chance every night, and really happy for him.
Obviously, he's been unbelievable back there. He's been the rock. He covers for a lot of my mistakes and a lot of our mistakes back there. And I've been obviously very fortunate to be having 2 goalies in my career. That obviously Marty for the first 7-8 years there, and then Schneid's here for the last couple of years. And it's just his demeanor back there. He's calm, he's cool, he's collective. He just he reads the play real well, sees the puck, and just makes he makes obviously all the routine saves and makes a huge save when we need it. And it's been really injects a lot of energy into our team.
He's known as one of the top goalies, and it's just nice to see him be able to get recognized the way he did. And in this situation, maybe he was a little bit more exposed with the changes and things like that, and how the team's done, and he's a big reason for that. But I think when you look in and around the league and talk with people, he's a well-respected guy.
The biggest omission is likely Sidney Crosby. Each team had to have one. The Penguins got 2 players in, defenseman Chris Letang and Evgeny Malkin, so I'm sure that's not the last we'll hear about that. The game this year is at Nashville, and a big trade went down about a half an hour ago involving the Predators. Young defenseman Seth Jones goes to Columbus, and it looks like John Tortorella got his wish. He has traded Ryan Johansson, so the talented centerman who Tortorella thought was underperforming heads to Nashville. The Predators desperately need scoring. We'll see how that works out. Vinny Lecavalier and Luke Schenn also got traded. Today must be the day for a lot of trades are happening. They go to Los Angeles to the Kings. Lecavalier's agent says he will retire at the end of this season. Let's take a look at the Devils' expected lineup for tonight. No Mike Camilleri. The Devils are hoping that he'll be back on Friday. He's dealing with that upper body injury. How about Travis Zajac? He has not scored since November 6, 20 games. Hard to believe because it's not like you notice. He does so many other things, but it has been a bit of a drought. It's been a drought for Adam Henrique. He hasn't scored in 11. Eric Gellin is getting his first game since the day after Christmas. He's played in just 1 of his last 6. Let's hear from Travis Zajac as the Devils are about to officially finish the first half of this season.
When we talked about at the beginning of the years, we want to be in the playoffs, and I think we're there right now, but I think we got a lot left in the tank, and the ceiling for this team is we haven't found it yet, so we're continuing to get better.
What can the ceiling be?
Well, I think consistently we can be in that picture year after year. I think with the new with Ray coming in, new coaching staff, new guys, I think there's been some excitement, some new commitment, some new work ethic, and it's definitely been a positive experience.
So the Devils enter the game tonight in the 7th spot with 8 teams going to the playoffs in the East. And again, with a half of the season left to go, plenty of hockey still to be played. And that includes tonight. The Devils have a chance to equal Montreal's 47 points with a win against the Habs. They're about to drop the puck. Let's go to Steve Cangelosi and Ken Danico.
Thank you so much, Deb. A first All-Star selection for Corey Schneider came today. He's waiting for his first playoff game as a Devil. He told us this week that the second half of the season hinges on which teams execute better, which teams exhibit the stronger will to win when you really learn about what your team is about. John Hines said there were a couple of guys on his team deserving. Perhaps Kyle Palmieri, maybe Mike Camilleri. But in Corey Schneider's case, he said that's fair.
A lot of good players throughout the league get omitted from the All-Star game, Steve. There's just only so many spots. But I think this validates what Corey Schneider's been saying all along, ever since he was in Vancouver. I'm ready to be a #1 guy. He takes over for the great Martin Brodeur, and he's come in and done a terrific job for this Devils team. Well-deserved for goaltender Corey Schneider. He's been great for this team this year.
Mike Condon is at the other end, and we're underway tonight at Bell Center. Tonight's lineups are brought to you by Infinity. As we see Schneider get his first touch of the puck here. Yuri Tlusty, Travis Zajac, Kyle Palmieri, one of the heroes in the last visit here at Bell Center. Start the game. Pass for Tlusty, deflects to Condon, who sweeps the puck away. And quickly on it, the veteran Russian defenseman, Andrei Markov. His partner is Jeff Petrie, who punches it ahead for the Canadians. Lars Eller, the Danish winger, plays this into the Devils zone, and here's Green on the puck. So a change from the previous game. Devils defense combinations, at least at the start, it's Green paired again with Adam Larsson. They've spent most of this season together.
And that might have a little something to do with David Schlemko out with an injury here, Steve, so they put the shutdown pair back together of Green and Larsson, hoping to do a good job against this Canadiens team that is playing at home for the first time. And there you see, in a long time, and there you see Brendan Gallagher with the big hit.
Tade back to the point, taken here by Nathan Beaulieu. His shot blocked away by Henrique and played out to center. PK Subban, former Norris Trophy winner, wheels and deals at center ice, buys some time. Habs complete the change, and he fires on goal. Schneider leaves this for Damon Severson. Paired with John Merrill at the start tonight is Severson. Racing into the zone, Bobby Farnham nearly nullified the icing, came close, but no cigar. Here's tonight's Mazga goaltending matchup for the Devils. It's Schneider, 20 saves, the hard luck loser against Detroit on Monday. Mike Condon was the goaltender, hailing from Holliston, Massachusetts, and it was poetic that he was the conquering hero at the Winter Classic. Didn't suffer a regulation defeat until his 10th start this season. That's really when it started to go south, not only for him, but Montreal as a team. Off the face-off, controlled here. Mark Barberio plays this behind the Devils' goal. Steven Gianta on the puck, banks this away. Comes back to Merrill. He absorbs a hit by the veteran center Torrey Mitchell, and now gets the puck back from Severson. Third and final meeting of the regular season between these teams. Devils taking 3 of a possible 4 points in the first 2 meetings. Played on back-to-back nights back in November. Here come the Canadians over the line. Devontae Smith-Pelly, wrist shot, and it's held by Schneider. John Hines says it's not about the playoffs or what the standings are. It's about getting everything out of the players. And he says, despite the record being that, 20, 15, and 5, good for 7th overall in the Eastern Conference, they haven't gotten everything out of them. Big room for improvement going forward, he believes.
Well, I think he is referring to the offensive side. He still thinks they could score more goals, create more opportunities. They lost a tough one to Detroit the other night, 1-0. They played very well. John Hines thought the team did a lot of good things. But the bottom line, sorry, Steve, is try to score a few more goals and get some more victories. They believe in themselves.
Scramble in the Devils' zone. It's picked up here by Andrighetto. Plays this into the corner. Alex Galchenyuk couldn't control it cleanly, and the Devils wind this back the other way. The Canadians have seen a week of highs and lows. Played here by Daniel Carr across to Galchenyuk, and his shot deflected away off the stick of Andy Green. The high for Montreal, victory over Boston in the Winter Classic. The low, a defeat last night against the Philadelphia Flyers on the road. As Jeff told you in the setup tonight, first home game in 9 for Montreal. Back here at the Bell Center for the first time since December 17th. Travis Zajac on the forecheck for the Devils here. Puck jarred loose, taken by Stefan Matteau. Banks it back to the point. Shot by Eric Jelena, blocked away in front.
Good quick shot from the point. Jelena getting back into the lineup after sitting for some games. And that was a nice play from Stefan Matteau. Didn't just throw that puck. He made a play, and hopefully his confidence getting better as he handled the puck nicely in the Montreal zone.
Well, Marutu with a chance, and the follow-up try by Kalinin is fought off by the goaltender Condon. Back the other way, dumped in by Eller. Trying to take this off the boards, David Desharnais, but Merrill gets it away from him. Taken by Alexei Yemelin, and the shot from the far side came off the backboard, and that's Desharnais who shot the puck wide. Yemelin plays it across. Barberio trying to put that on the stick of Paul Byron, but the Devils get it out to center. Barberio, the ex-Tampa Bay Lightning defender, wearing number 45, signing as a free agent for the Canadians back on July 1st. Played ahead by the stick of Mike Sislo and taken by Montreal. We were led to believe by the Devils coaching staff that Tyler Kennedy would play. Sislo would be scratched earlier today. And then a change when the lineups were actually introduced. Max Pacioretty, stopped by Schneider, deflected in front, and cleaned up by the Devils. It comes back to Pacioretty. He shoots, saves Schneider, juggles and holds on.
What an adventurous time for Corey Schneider here as this puck is flipped high in the air. I think it bounced off of 2 players. One of the Devils, and Pacioretty's going in. We'll take a look right here. Thinks he's got a breakaway. Corey Schneider comes out, pokes the puck away, and he's able to recover in time. Right there, what an alley-oop pass there. I thought it was bounced off a Devil defenseman, but Corey Schneider back in time. Then Pacioretty gets a good shot to the left of Schneider, and he makes the save. So good reaction play from Corey Schneider as he comes out to meet Matchpack Giretti. That could have been a disaster.
Well, the goalies are warmed up. Mitchell played back towards the blue line, and the puck taken here at center ice by New Jersey as Sislo will dump in. Lee Stempniak giving chase to the Devils. Subban under some pressure from Adam Henrique. Going for the takeaway is Sislo. He's fought off by Mitchell, and Subban plays it behind the net. Centering try by Henrique. Gobbled up by Subban, who chips this out of the zone and into the Canadiens bench. Michel Therrien, the head coach of Montreal. Last week, he became the first NHL head coach to win the Winter Classic twice. Did it once with Pittsburgh, now with Montreal. Problem last night, said Therrien, the team's focus was still on a game played 3 days earlier. Emotionally against the Flyers, he just felt his team wasn't there.
Well, they had a real strong effort. You mentioned the Winter Classic against the Bruins, Steve. And then the Flyers, another team vying to get back in the playoff picture. Played a pretty strong game, but Montreal did give up some, or had some defensive lapses in their 4-3 loss last night.
There were rave reviews for the way the Canadiens played in the Winter Classic at Foxborough. The joke here in Montreal, they still have to figure things out indoors. Devils don't want to see them do it tonight as this is chopped out of the zone, and Merrill giving chase in his own end. Under pressure from Daniel Carr, the rookie left wing from Montreal, wearing 43. Picked up by Merrill at center. He'll dump in, and chased here by Jordan Tutu. Taken away by Giunta. Plays it to the side of the net. Tutu gets a shot away, and covering up in the crease is the goaltender, Condon.
They see a little pushing and shoving, and Bobby Farnham, as we would expect, in the middle of it. Devils get a puck on net. And young defenseman Eric Jelena, after being a healthy scratch for the last 4 games, you see on the season, Steve, 3 points in 22 games. And as he finds his defensive game, and he'd been playing pretty well before that, even Coach Hines had said that, we know those point totals can go up, and he can help this offense once he shores up his defensive end, and I thought he has somewhat, but now he can jump into play and use his biggest weapon, that big shot, and also his skating ability, so he gets a real good opportunity here tonight in Montreal with David Schlemko out.
Palmieri tries to throw one in front. It deflects off a skate, and Zajac following up. It's big for Jelena to play here. Grew up in nearby Vanier, Ontario. Here's Zajac. Comes off the boards, drops it back at the point where Severson works it in deep. Puck taken back by Montreal, and it trickles by the stick of Severson. Racing for the puck is Brendan Gallagher, who returned to the lineup New Year's Day. What a difference he's made. The record night and day for the Canadiens with Gallagher in the lineup this season. Played ahead and taken here by Zajac for New Jersey. Travis will dump in. Devils execute a full change, all 5 players. And the puck taken here by Montreal. Barberio works it ahead. Eller tries to get on this. He's cut off at the pass by Larson. And the give to John Merrill. Adam Larson on the puck for New Jersey. Works it ahead. Knocked down in the neutral zone was Matteau. Taken by Kalinin, who drops it back for John Merrill, but he's bumped off the puck by Eller. Punched ahead to Desharnais. David Desharnais sends it off the side of the net. Corey Schneider lost sight of it momentarily. Still loose. Now Byron takes it from Montreal. Centering try for Desharnais, but it's taken away.
Oh, Montreal buzzing around the net. That puck shot from a sharp angle from Desharnais fooled Corey Schneider a little bit. Fortunately, Adam Larson was alert to pull that puck behind the net and move it up ice.
Collected by Montreal. Subban settles things down for the Canadiens and gives here to Nathan Beaulieu. He fires in. Takes an unorthodox bounce off the backboard, and Schneider in the danger area will just stop play with Galchenyuk loitering. We're back in Montreal. Just as we were taking the air tonight in Montreal, major trade in the National Hockey League tonight. Defenseman Seth Jones dealt from Nashville to Columbus for Ryan Johansson. That's a huge deal with the deadline still a ways away, Dano.
Yeah, I think both teams addressed a need. Nashville very deep on defense. You give up a young Seth Jones who has a real bright upside. He's played real good hockey, but now he's going to get even a bigger opportunity in Columbus as far as being a go-to guy. And Johansson, who's really struggled this season. Coach Tortorella not real happy with him. If he can get back to the Ryan Johansson that everybody's accustomed to, he's going to help the Predators scoring woes. They've been very inconsistent offensively, not a lot to show for. They want to be a better hockey club. Felt they needed a big, strong stud centerman like Ryan Johansson if he gets back to the game. Like I said, of a year ago or a couple of years ago, where he had 60-plus points and 30 goals.
Taken here by Larson for the Devils, off the stick of Stempniak. And Draghetto dumps into the opposite corner, and Beaulieu getting chase here. Montreal, after a 9-0 start, has hit the skids. Speculation here that they'll get busy as the trade deadline gets a little bit closer, with GM Mark Bergevin pulling the strings. Stéphane Matteau was a healthy scratch for 6 straight games and 8 out of 9 before dressing tonight for a season-high 5th straight game for the Devils. As we look at PK Subban, the goal from Matteau to generate a lot more offensively. John Hines speaking the same earlier tonight, saying the sandpaper part of it is down, but he needs more puck possession from Stéphane Matteau in the offensive zone. Has a goal this season, but that's all. Taken here by Plekanec. Played ahead. Gallagher. Down the right side, sees the puck taken away by Adam Larson. Hammered back in by Montreal. Pacioretty can't control. Bobby Farnham for the Devils. Tries to find the handle. It comes to Larson instead. Adam Larson for Stempniak. He's tied up. Good pressure here by the Canadians. Gallagher, Plekanec, and Pacioretty, the Habs' top line. Here's Farnham on the puck for the Devils. The rest of the team executing a change. He'll buy some time, and that puck deflects off Pacioretty's stick and swept into the corner. Tuomo Ruutu back in the lineup, able to get this back towards the point, but it's by Severson.
You know, to touch a little more on Matteau and Gallagher, those are two guys where when you want to get better and improve, it's something that clicks, Steve, offensively.
Taken in front, centering try for Kalinin, got by him.
And I think for both of those guys, once they get a big goal, make a big play, it just can change the whole complexion, how you feel about your game, your confidence. You start hanging on to the puck a little more. You start seeing a few more open plays. Your vision gets better. It's always something for any young guy that a play, a period where you go, wow, I found it, and you feel confident again.
Stoppage in play here because the mask got knocked off of the goaltender, Mike Condon. Continues to be the man in the absence of the injured Carey Price. Michel Therrien says Price rehab is going well. He's simply not ready to return. Carey Price has already missed 19 games for the Canadians. The question is, when does he get back, and how long does it take him to get back in form? Canadians have tumbled to 3rd in the division. The Devils can actually catch them in the overall standings with a regulation win here tonight. Barberio gets away from Matteau. Sends it behind the net. Lars Eller waiting for it. Dropped it back to Emelin, but he has to retreat to center. 9.5 minutes played. Scoreless here at the Bell Center. Canadians are guilty of icing.
Well, always the entertaining PK Subban. I mean, I go back to the All-Star Classic. I saw him walk in the arena. I love the outfit he had on, the wardrobe. He's a charismatic guy and one heck of a hockey player for sure. He only has 1 goal in the season, Steve, but 27 points. And you're used to seeing him score a few more goals. But regardless, he is such a key player and great for the game. Does so many good things away from the rink with charities as well. He's just a fun guy to be around and a dynamic player on the ice. He'll be fun watching in the All-Star game, that 3-on-3, I'll bet you that.
$10 million donation to the Children's Cancer Hospital here in Montreal. How do you not applaud that? Puck winds around, picked up here along the near boards, Palmieri. Battling for it along with Brian Flynn. Comes back to Larson. He opts to play it off the backboard. Zajac sees the puck taken away, and it's punched out of the zone by Montreal. Played across. Petrie shooting off the glove of Corey Schneider. Collected by Jelena. Slowed up by the defenseman Petrie as it comes back to center. Here's Flynn sending it in. Corey Mitchell, the ex-San Jose Shark, ridden off the play by Palmieri. Palmieri crosses up with Jelena behind his own goal. Canadians take it back. Played to the point. And Palmieri able to work this out of the zone. Deflects off the skate and then the stick of Bobby Farnham. Gianta, 2-2, and Farnham have comprised a pretty effective line for the Devils in recent games as this is banked out to center. Taken back by Farnham, and he'll whisk it into the Canadian zone.
It was a real strong shift defensively for Kyle Palmieri. We talk about his goals. He did a terrific job down low, sealing off Canadians, controlling the puck, winning battles, and just shows you how complete a player he is.
Shot by Severson is blocked away by Condon. Hammered back in behind the net by Green. 2-2. Here's a surge by the Devils with a line that's been known to change momentum occasionally. Green tried to bank it in front. Comes back towards Gianta covering the point. He plays it behind goal where Farnham is on it. Spins away from Beaulieu. Bobby Farnham. Checked by Beaulieu, but works it free. Now 2-2. Back for Green. He fires, and that's deflected off a stick. Gets it back from Severson. Return pass from Severson to the circle. Great pressure by the Devils as they work it here to the stick of Gianta. Off 2-2 stick, and Montreal still can't clear. There's Gianta reaching up, using the whole frame to keep the zone, but it's taken back, and Andrighetto sends it into the Devils' end.
Real good pressure. Both teams finding it a tough time when they get offensive time, finding real good openings and good scoring opportunities in the high-quality areas. Both teams playing very solid in their own zone. But the Farnham line again brings energy.
Look out. Here's Gallagher over the Devils line. Pacioretty shot. Glove save. Schneider's got it. We'll step aside in Montreal with 7:44 to go in the first. The National Hockey League made tonight. Philadelphia Flyers sending 2 players to the LA Kings. One of them defenseman Luke Shen and the veteran Vincent LeCavalier. Things could have gone much better for them in the city of brotherly love. Bottom line, though, Dano, they're going to LA, and they might have a chance to make a cup run now.
Yeah, the Kings are one of the teams that have found their game from a few years ago after missing last year's playoffs, and they had a veteran in Vinny LeCavalier. We'll see if he has any left in the tank. He will be motivated, obviously, going to a team with a lot of talent. He just has to try to fit in, contribute. And Luke Shen gives him a new lease on life as LA was looking for a depth defenseman. He's big, he's physical. So we'll see how these trades pan out as there was a lot of activity today.
Maybe we're just getting our appetite wet as this is dumped in by Palmieri, giving chase Andy Green in his 600th NHL game. Zajac winds it around. Palmieri will collect the puck. Centering try with Talusti in front of the net, but that's broken up. Palmieri, Zajac, Talusti continue on. And Larson able to punch this behind the goal where Zajac takes, gets it away from Markov. Brendan Gallagher winds it around, but the Devils, the Canadians pinned in a bit here. Swatted out of midair by Plekanec, and it comes out to center. Larson across for Green. Devils execute the change, so does Montreal. John Merrill is on the puck here. Spins away from Byron, and now Larson will work it across. Stefan Matteau gets the puck out to center, but that's all. Taken back, Alexei Yemelin. Sends to Eller, and he whisks it into the Devils' zone where Schneider's on it. Eller with the intercept. Plays it for Desharnais. Drop back to the point. Barberio for Yemelin. His shot blocked away by Schneider, and the puck deflects out of play. Andy Green is the milestone man. His NHL debut was 9 years ago next week. On his 600th game, he was telling me today, I remember worrying about getting through the first one. He actually has no recollection of the night that he was draft eligible, for the simple reason that there was no discussion about him being drafted. And that surprised me because Jeff Blashill, now the coach for Detroit, was an assistant at Miami of Ohio, and he talked about Andy being one of the top college players at the country at the time. As he recalls it, Andy Green, He wasn't on anyone's radar. They missed the boat, didn't they?
It's kind of the way his career has gone, hasn't it? He's always been underrated at times, underappreciated, but not here in New Jersey. And it's just the way it is. You see players fly under the radar, not drafted, but that's what makes a good scouting staff, finding those guys.
Here's Jelena into the Canadian zone. Gets a wrist shot away. That's blocked away by Condon. Behind goal, Subban. Bump by Henrique. Puck taken back. Here's Mike Sislo shooting. Jamming at it in front. Stepniak, but the puck wouldn't go. Mike Sislo racing over to the corner. Henrique drops it back for Severson, who shoots, and a stick save by Condon. Devils warming to the task here as this puck deflects in front. Sislo trying to control. Severson has it at center. Word from the Devils is that Tyler Kennedy picked up an upper body injury. That's the reason he's something of a late scratch here tonight, and Sislo is in. Racing ahead, Farnham for New Jersey, banks it in. There's a penalty. It's against Montreal. An interference call will set up a Devils power play when we come back at Bell Center.
It was right on this ice here at the Bell Center almost 7 years ago in March that Marty Brodeur tied his boyhood idol Patrick Roy with his 551st career win. Coming up on the New Jersey Lottery Intermission Report, celebrating Marty Brodeur. We'll see you then.
Deb, thank you. Alexei Yemelin goes off for interference at 14:46. First power play opportunity for either side, and this Devils power play is brought to you by Barnabas Health. Green across for Jelena. Henrique. That pass intended for Zajac, taken by Plekanec instead. Works it ahead for Pacioretty. Short-handed, gets a backhander away, and the save by Schneider.
Well, you see Eric Jelena on with Andy Green for this power play.
Played across and taken here by Zajac. John Moore has gone to the locker room, which might explain some of the personnel here. Green back to Jelena, who can really bring it. A wrist shot from Jelena, held by Condon. We're not sure if that's injury related or not to John Moore.
Well, that would be a big blow. We will see Eric Jelena with a good wrist shot. Nobody in front, though, but he's had a couple of shots here. A couple of shifts ago, even strength now with the wrist shot. They just have to keep plugging away, keep firing. Now the Devils are getting some shots through. They've got 8 so far this first period. And they have to try here on the power play to get some clean looks and look for that first goal of the night.
Sergei Kalinin off the faceoff, one back by the Canadians, and Petrie banks this out of the zone. 4.5 to go in the opening period. Minute 15 on this power play. Severson will start it up for the Devils. Stepniak, Matteau, 2-2, and Kalinin on this wave of the power play as Severson winds it around. 2-2, plays it back for Stepniak. Matteau shovels it in deep. Hop past the stick of Kalinin. Severson has it at the point. Under some pressure from Flynn. Plays it in deep. Taken by Brian Flynn, who clears it away.
Well, Severson was on the left side. That wrap around to him with him being a right-handed shot made it a lot more difficult to pull it off the boards, and Devils couldn't get a clean pass. Montreal was able to force them and pounce on it and clear the puck.
Another clear by P.K. Subban. Tricky puck for Schneider. He handled it well. And Green lays it ahead for Jelena. Initial wave of the power play is back on for a second try, but there's Mitchell disrupting things. Still 17 seconds to go, and a last rush here for the Devils as Green punches it ahead. Henrique plays it across. Pass just a bit too far for Jelena. Spins away from his man, but taken by Markov. Subban is on it. It's an excellent penalty kill by Montreal as it's lifted away. Out of the box is Yemelin. One shot on the Devils power play, that's all. They're guilty of icing the puck here.
Well, with some injuries to the Devils, Tuomo Ruutu in his first game since December 26. You see only 8 games played, Steve, and you know he's going to finish his checks. 16 hits, he brings that certainly to the table. He can forecheck. He's got no points, but they're going to need, the Devils, some points and production from guys like Ruutu. It doesn't mean every night. It means, chipping with a big goal at a timely part of a hockey game. And, you know, Ruutu's done it in the past. He's capable of it. We've got to see now that he's in the lineup if he can find that offensive touch that he had, Steve, a few years back in Carolina.
Tell you what, you couldn't wipe the smile off of his face today with what the Finnish World Junior team did yesterday.
Oh, absolutely. How exciting was that game? Congratulations to the Finns. Terrific overtime victory against the Russians for the gold medal.
Ruutu was reminding us he played 3 times in that tournament, 2001, 2002, 2003. Mikko Koivu was a line mate of his in the juniors. Punched ahead by the Canadians. Sent into the zone by Carr. Nero takes the puck off the boards, gives here to Nateau. Kalinin muscles it ahead. He's slowed up at center ice by Barberio. Devils in the midst of a change. They executed that, well, in the eyes of the official, perhaps not correctly. Jordan Tootoo says, I was coming on the ice. The other guys were going off. But let's see.
I'd like to see that again because they were awfully close to the bench. I think this is a very tough call going against the New Jersey Devils. Now we see 5. There's the puck goes by as we watch. Oh boy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, well, you know what? There was a whole bunch of guys jumping on and off there. And at the end of the day, I think if it was just one guy coming over, Steve, there was some confusion at the bench. And now you see 2 guys hopping back over, so it looked at times there were 6 or 7, even though they were close to the bench. That was what caught the vision of the referee, saying that's just too many. I don't care how close you are to the bench.
Power play for Montreal, their first chance of the night, cleared by Andy Green.
Originally, I thought just one player jumped on and you saw him being a foot from the bench. You say you got to give him some leeway, but there was too many guys jumping on and off, and Devils go on the penalty kill.
Nateau is serving the bench minor. Canadians are offside here, 1:40 to go on the Montreal power play. Goaltending has been such a tremendous strength for the Devils. I was talking about this with Corey Schneider. He shared the Jennings Trophy in Vancouver with Roberto Luongo. I asked, could you win it this year with Keith Kincaid? Devils right now, 4th lowest goals against average in the league. It is Luongo and the Panthers who have the lowest at 2.13. All they've done is won 10 straight.
And think about it, it's remarkable in itself. You never think of a Florida Panther team to be so strong defensively in goal, and 10 straight wins, not easy thing to accomplish in this day and age of the National Hockey League. The Panthers on a roll.
Plekanec across, Subban plays it down low. Now the Canadians set up. Subban calling for the puck. Gives to Plekanec. Pacioretty to Plekanec. Now Subban. Plekanec comes off the half board, looking to feed Pacioretty on the redirect. It got by everyone, and Thomas Plekanec will take it again. Back for Subban. Plekanec at the circle, redirected, they score. Pacioretty. It's a power play goal, and Montreal takes the lead.
Well, this ended up being a redirection. It's somewhat of a changeup. I think Corey Schneider looked behind him. He was surprised that puck snuck through the 5-hole. And the Canadians tried this on the play just before this, that pass from the half wall, Plekanec, and there it's just a little redirection tip from Pacioretty in the high slot. Almost an innocent-looking play, but the presence of Brendan Gallagher screening Corey Schneider as well fooled him a little bit, and that puck goes behind him. So Gallagher, give him a lot of credit, as Pacioretty doesn't get a whole lot of it, but they tried this just the play before the PP. Devils were ready for it, and it was deflected wide. The pass went wide. This time, Plekanec to Pacioretty. Canadians take a 1-0 lead on the power play.
His team leading 17th goal of the season. With a minute to go in period 1. Montreal power play that was 0 for 4 in the loss last night. 4-3 against Philadelphia. Strikes early here. Not ready to drop the puck yet. Looks like
we may have a challenge. I'm going to think interference.
The coach's challenge for goaltender interference.
And there you have it. We have to take a look at it again, but Brendan Gallagher sets up shop in front. We'll see if at all he affected Corey Schneider's ability to make a save. And from that angle, it looks like he just gets his skate on his stick. I think Corey's complaining he couldn't get his stick to the 5-hole, but I think that's going to be tough to overturn, in my opinion, Steve.
It's subtle, but is it enough? Well, we talked about the difference Gallagher makes for these
Let's
Canadians.
look one more time. Overhead angle, you get a better look here. You see Corey Schneider's stick gets caught up between the legs of Brendan Gallagher, but like I said, I just think it's going to be tough to overturn, and I hope I'm wrong.
Tom Kowal and Graham Skilliter are the referees in the game tonight. They're looking at the replay. In the referee's hands as the coach's challenge.
But you see now why Corey couldn't get that stick covering the 5-hole as he was down in the butterfly position, was because his stick got caught up in Brendan Gallagher's skates. And boy, the Canadians missed that presence of Gallagher, didn't they, in front of the net? It just makes all the difference in the world.
17-5-2 with Gallagher in the lineup. 5-11-1 without him this season. Skilliter ready to make the announcement as Kowal.
On video review, it's confirmed the Montreal players on the crease. There was no contact. It's a good hockey goal. New Jersey.
John Hines loses the coach's challenge. The Devils forfeit their timeout. Well, one man's idea of interference is not another man's. And the Devils coaching staff, along with their video staff, had reason to believe that it was. 1-0 is the score here, 52 seconds to go. Give the assist to Plekanec and Subban on the power play goal by Pacioretty at 19 minutes of the first. Bobby Farnham on the offensive now for the Devils. Gianta winds it around. Merrill on the puck. He's bumped by Mitchell. Petrie ties up Gianta deep in the zone. Now 2-2 is over to help. Steven Gianta knocked down in the offensive zone. Right back to his skates. Lost control. Devante Smith-Pelly will play it ahead and skate it away from Montreal. Farnham collides with him as we get a stoppage in play. And now there's a penalty coming up again. This will be against Farnham.
It's probably an interference call against Devante Smith-Pelly by the Devils bench, but and that's exactly the call, as we saw him take out Smith-Pelly. Let's take a look right here. Well, the puck was just released, and they called a similar penalty on Alexei Emelin for the Canadians earlier on. That one's questionable in my eyes.
Farnham shaking his head in the penalty box. Off the face-off. Zajac tries to get it out of the zone. Subban on him. Devils will get a clear here. Final seconds of the period will tick away. But carryover penalty time, 1 minute and 45 seconds of it when the second period begins for Montreal. They've got the lead. Deb with the milestone man, Andy Green. Part of the New Jersey Lottery first intermission coming up.
The New Jersey Devils Intermission Report is presented by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember,
Adam Larson and the Devils host their Eastern Conference rivals, the Bruins, at Prudential Center on Friday night, January 8th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today by visiting NewJerseyDevils.com/tickets. They'd like to come back home on the heels of a win, but they trail after one. Here are the first period highlights with Kenny.
They did have some shots and chances, Steve. We're going to look right here. Sergei Kalinin comes in on Condon as he can't control that flipping puck, and Condon makes the save. And there's a long saucer pass over the heads of Severson and more from Subban, and Pacioretty can't catch up. Then he gets a shot. Corey Schneider makes the save. Right here, Desharnais just gets that puck toward the net. Corey Schneider bobbled it a little bit as The puck did some funny things, some tricky things in that first period, but Corey's able to cover up there. And then on the power play, you see Andy Green moves his stick just a little bit. That was a beautiful play by Thomas Buchanan on faking the shot and getting the pass, the redirection to Pat Chiaretti. As we look at it again, Andy had his stick to deflect that pass originally, Steve, and then he moved it to the other side to try to block the shot. Pat Chiaretti, a nice pass, 1-0 Canadians.
All-Star Weekend, January 30th and 31st in Nashville. Here are the Metropolitan Division All-Stars. Ovechkin is the captain, one of 3 Capitals on the team. Corey Schneider, we've been telling you, one of the 2 goaltenders along with Braden Holtby. Here's the rest of it, and noticeably absent, Sidney Crosby, omitted as he gets his game together here in the last couple of games for the Pittsburgh Penguins. The Atlantic Division All-Stars, Jaromir Jagr is the choice for captain as voted in by the fans. Here's the rest of it. Bergeron, Komarov, Dylan Larkin, the 19-year-old rookie, Ryan O'Reilly, well-deserved, Stamkos, Ekblad, Erik Karlsson, PK Subban is the selection of the Canadian team that we're watching here tonight, and the goaltenders, Ben Bishop and Roberto Luongo. 3-on-3 format, only 11 guys on each team. We have a chance we'll hit the Western Conference selections a little bit later on in the night. Any glaring omission there in your mind, or was it kind of fair?
Yeah, I kind of am numb to glaring omissions because it's just not enough roster spots. And having to pick one player from each team, you want to get everybody involved, and there's going to be some players in a minute. But Sidney Crosby, obviously, who's having a tough year. He's gotten hot lately, Steve.
Second period is underway. Devils can use a goal. They've been shut out in the last 4 periods that they've played, as Markov is chased back into his own end by Adam Henrique. Again, if you're just joining us, Devils lost Tyler Kennedy to an injury in the warm-ups, lost John Moore to injury in the first period of play. He did block a shot, but we're not sure that's the play on which he was injured. Right now, the Devils playing with 5D. Plekanec over the line. Cross to Pacioretty, who guides it back to the point. Here's Subban shooting, blocked in front, taken here by Stempniak, and shorthanded. The Devils can't clear the zone. Gallagher plays it down low. Here's Pacioretty, opts to drop it back. Subban across for Markov. Back for Subban at the top. His shot is deflected wide of the net. Puck winds around, taken here by the Canadians again. 40 seconds remaining on the Montreal power play, which extends from the first period, and the interference call against Farnham.
The Devils finally clear, and Lee Stempniak knows. I mean, he's got to get that puck down. He has total control just inside the Devils' blue line. He tries to pass to Giunta, goes behind him, and Canadians took over the puck, and more opportunities in the Devils' zone. You got to get it down when you have that opportunity. As we know, Lee Stempniak, such a smart hockey player, but he tried to get a little too cute there. He wanted to go on the offensive, and it backfired. Fortunately for the Devils, the puck didn't go in the net.
Petrie banks it into the Devils' zone. That's an icing call against the Canadians with 5 seconds left on the power play.
We take a look at Adam Henrique, who was just out there for the PK, and you look at his last 11 games, 0 goals, Steven. With Mike Camilleri out, they're going to need him to score. He's had some looks. He had good quality chances, talking to Coach Hines last game against Detroit, but in those 11 games, what stands out? Only 13 shots on goal. Adam's got to shoot the puck more. He's got one of the better shooting percentages in the National Hockey League, top 10, but he needs to shoot the puck more because he's got a good one, and the Devils need him to score.
In the meantime, Devils have successfully killed off the penalty to Farnham. No shots on that Montreal power play. That shot, and a dangerous one off the stick of Galchenyuk, is saved by Schneider. Teams back to 5-on-5. Barberio threw it in front, intercepted by Jelena, but holding the zone, and that shot from the point by Galchenyuk again is blocked and redirected wide. Those were the best chances for the Canadians after the power play that struggled a bit, and bumping at center ice, Galchenyuk and Kalinin, but it's all okay. We talked about Brendan Gallagher's contribution to the Montreal Canadiens just in terms of record night and day, but the team's ability to score as well. Prior to the injury, Canadians were averaging 3.4 goals per game. With Gallagher on injured reserve, 1.9. Speak to his importance on this team.
That tells a story right there, doesn't it? It doesn't mean he's going to score all the goals. He averages almost a point a game. However, it's just the energy. He is really the glue to this team and the guy that energizes the club for Montreal.
Shot by Larson is deflected away.
He's the heartbeat of this team, and there's no question in my mind, Steve. Brendan Gallagher does so much more than put up points, and it's very evident from that stat you just showed.
He's scored in each game since his return. Goal and an assist in the Winter Classic, and then he scored in the loss last night. Centering try by Tutu, deflected away, taken back by Byron, who had 2 goals on New Year's Day himself. In the corner, Lars Eller can't control the puck. Byron played it back. Nobody home as the Canadians were nearly caught in a change. And Condon gives here to Petrie.
Now, having said that about Brendan Gallagher, if I'm the Devils defenseman, I'm not letting him get anywhere near Corey Schneider. You got to box him out. You got to play him very tough because he's going to get under your skin. And we saw on the power play there, he had a big factor in the first goal.
Career high 24 goals last season. He's got 10. Or Devante Smith-Kelly plays this ahead for Flynn, and the puck back the other way for the Canadians. They work it across, and that's just by the outstretched stick of Brian Flynn. Petrie in the corner. Andy Green battles with him and works it loose to Henrique, who skates it out to center for the Devils. He's slowed up by Petrie, and continuing on, the Devils are offside here as the puck came in and out. Brendan Gallagher this season, Danico, the number is 11 goals and 11 assists. I shortchanged him by 1. But through 24 games this year, those are some pretty nice numbers.
Yeah, almost a point a game that I had mentioned, and he's not the biggest in stature, but you look at certain teams, and not every team has one, where when a player is out, it's not just statistically. The team feels different. They play different. They don't bring the same zest to a game at times. And the Montreal Canadiens are one of those teams. He is that important to this Canadian hockey club.
5'9", 182. It says on the lineup card of Brendan Gallagher. Plays bigger than that. Taken here by Subban from Montreal. It's a 1-0 game in favor of the Canadiens. Shots are even 9 apiece. Subban plays it behind goal, and here's Beaulieu working it out to center. Pacioretty tied up by Larson. Beaulieu takes it back. Fans wanted a call against Adam Larson, but we play on in Montreal, and here's Plekanec. Laid the puck off the stick of Max Pacioretty. New Canaan, Connecticut native, says the Winter Classic was the best time he's had in his hockey life. Homecoming of sorts for him in New England. Icing here against the Devils. Having an impact for the Devils is Bobby Farnham. Look at this, most goals per game. Now, some of the names are the ones you'd predict. Palmieri, Camilleri, Henrique, despite his struggles lately, and Lee Stempniak. And there's Bobby Farnham in the top 5, having scored 5 times in 23 games coming into tonight.
Well, he's brought a spark every time he's in the lineup, and he's been rewarded with some bounces, breaks, and goals for the Devils when they've needed them. They've been some big goals from Bobby Farnham.
Off the stick of Desharnais. Byron tied up by Larson. Puck jarred loose, taken by Gelinas. He'll work it across. Devils are saying John Moore's return is questionable. Shot by Byron, blocked away in front, and the puck taken here by Palmieri for the Devils, who works it ahead to Toulouse. Devils break out. Here's Larson into the attack for New Jersey. Throws it on goal, and Condon steers that aside. Toulouse plays it behind the net for Zajac. He's tied up, but Palmieri's on the puck. Worked it loose, but Eller took it back from Montreal. Big hockey night here in Montreal, Quebec. Canadians' first home game since December 17th. And they're all big for Montreal. Concern here is that after a great start, the Canadians, who are on pace now for just 94 points, that's a total that wasn't good enough to make the playoffs last year in the NHL. Here's Matteau working the puck loose. Has it for the Devils, drops it back, and we're going to get a penalty here. It's a trip.
It's going against Tuomo Ruutu for the Devils. And just at the time the Devils had possession, Stefan Matteau was going to get back to the point, although he fanned on it. Let's look here. right there, boy. You got to avoid those penalties in the offensive zone. As he trips up Petrie, and Devils haven't scored a goal. You mentioned the last 4 periods, Steve, down 1 here. Have to try to stay out of the penalty box, be a little more disciplined.
Henrique on the penalty kill for New Jersey with Stempniak to get it started. Larson and Green, the defense tandem. Plekanec steps up, shoots, save made by Schneider. Rebound punched away by Stempniak, who clears.
And that was Gallagher right in front again for the rebound. Corey Schneider does a good job standing tall there, and Stempniak, the forward, helps out down low, clears that puck.
Gionta steps on to continue the kill. Pacioretty, blind pass, is cleared away by Gionta.
This is a heavy workload for the defense now, Steve, especially the likes of Green and Larson with only 5 defensemen here. That's another reason they have to stay out of the penalty box, because their minutes are going to really go up, and they're hard minutes on the PK.
Markov on the puck here for Montreal. He'll send Galchenyuk on his way. Alex Galchenyuk motoring behind the net, drops it back for Subban. Puck got by him. Here's Zajac getting on the loose puck. Travis Zajac in. He shoots and he fired it wide, but there's a penalty against Montreal. It's a hook.
Oh, boy. Good speed from Travis Zajac. Subban has trouble with the pass at the Devils' blue line. And Travis Zajac, that puck went on end because he missed by a long shot. But Devils nonetheless go on the power play. They're down 1-0. Our $1 million replay is brought to you by the New Jersey Lottery. Remember, anything can happen in Jersey. Canadians on the power play. Subban can't handle the pass. Travis Zajac off to the races on a breakaway. And he puts this puck well over the net as he tried to make the move to his forehand, Kanji. And it goes on end, so he shoots it high and wide. But the Devils will be playing 4-4 as Subban takes a penalty for a hook. So for a minute 1, we've got 4-4. Then the Devils will be on the power play, so it negates the rest of the Canadians' power play. And I'm sure Travis Zajac would like that back as he made his move. And that puck went on end, and it forced him to shoot it really high.
Travis has not scored in his last 20. 4-on-4 here as Lars Eller bursts into the zone, got a backhander away on Schneider, who made the save, and Merrill plays this across for Damon Severson. Another 44 seconds. Devils will have the man advantage. Stempniak over the line. Picked up here by Henrique. Adam Henrique back for Stempniak. Eller tried for the takeaway. Bouncing puck controlled here by Montreal. And Lars Eller on it once again for the Canadians. 25 seconds left in the 4-on-4. Each team executes a change, and here's Beaulieu on the move here for the Canadians. Nathan Beaulieu, 22-year-old defenseman, first-round pick back in 2011 by Montreal. Chased back in his own end. 10 seconds, Devils with the man advantage as Beaulieu is smoked out by Palmieri. Torrey Mitchell on the move here for the Canadians. He's over the line, able to work free. That pass for Byron off the mark. Out of the box is Route 2, and now the Devils power play begins. This Devils power play brought to you by Barnabas Health. It's an abbreviated one. 46 seconds in the man advantage now as Palmieri skates it into the zone. He's tied up, converged on by a couple of Canadians. Nice shot by Green to hold the zone. Here's Jelena, drops it back for Green. Pass across, Palmieri fires, and he rifled it wide, and it caroms out to center. Green settles it down. Time for another rush here for the Devils. Jelena, Henrique, Zajac, Palmieri on the unit here. Kicked into the zone by Adam Henrique. He'll follow up himself. Sealed off by Markov. Plekanec tries to clear the zone, and Pacioretty hacks it out to center. Here's Jelena. 6 seconds left in the man advantage. Skates it over the line. Knocked away from Henrique. Taken here by Petrie. Here's Petrie walking in, shooting, and he fired it wide. Out of the box is Subban, and we're back to 5-on-5. Plekanec works it behind the goal, and here's PK Subban on the move for Montreal. Petrie dumps in. Still a 1-0 game. 9 minutes played here in period number 2. Devils had a 3-game win streak snapped on Monday. Bobby Farnham's shot is fired wide of the net.
Yeah, beautiful pass. Bank pass from Adam Larson all the way from his own end, sending Bobby Farnham in.
Galchenyuk with a shot, and that went wide, and it deflects out of play. Time now for the Cadillac trivia question here in Montreal with 10:38 to go in the second period. Other than Corey Schneider, which goaltenders in Devils history have been selected to the NHL All-Star game?
Well, we know one for sure.
I know two for sure.
I do too.
One who used to sit in your chair.
Yeah. All right, we're giving it away. Now we got to find another one.
Well, we don't know that the list is much more than that. Now they're helping us. They're telling us it's 4. Punched across, taken here. That puck deflects to Larson. Punched back to the point where Yemelin plays it behind the net. John Merrill battling behind the Devils' goal. Galchenyuk fought off and checked in the corner by Kalinin. Ferocious puck battle here, and the Devils work it away as Kalinin gives here to Tuomo Ruutu. Guides it across, and Larson will send it in deep. Devils trying to come back from a 1-0 deficit. We've hit the midway mark of regulation time. They drop it back to the point where Green plays it across. Severson's shot is off a stick and collected here by Matteau. Matteau turns, shoots, save made by Condon. Comes back for Andy Green, who sends into the corner. Now Ruutu. There's a Canadian without a stick. That's Galchenyuk. Advantage here for the Devils if they can gain possession of the puck. Kalinin gets it loose to Lustig. Hammered against the boards by Yemelin. An exhausted Kalinin heads to the bench. Puck jarred loose. Coming off the bench is Zajac, who drops it back for Green. Fakes the shot. Pass for Severson is off the mark. Taken by Andrighetto, who licks it away.
Oh, boy, Devils, you mentioned, had a great opportunity with Galchenyuk, no stick. Green walks to the middle, does a good job, and the pass ends up behind David Severson, so the Canadians are able to clear.
Here's Zajac motoring into the zone. Has to navigate the broken stick. To Lustig. Fires it back to the point. There's Green. Lost his balance. Turns. Shoots. It's redirected. Off a stick in front, and it popped up behind goal. Still loose at the side of the net. Here's to Lustig. Gets it back to Green. Works it across. Severson trying to shake loose of some high pressure. Gets it across to Green. Return pass from Lustig. Good puck movement by the Devils. They look to create the shot. Palmieri back for Green. At the top. Fires. Saved by Condon. Snatched it with the glove. And with that, we'll step aside at Bell Center. Second period of a 1-0 game.
So Corey Schneider is going to the All-Star game, and unless someone like Kyle Palmieri is added, the rest of the team will have a nice break, and the month could not be nearly as busy as December was, no matter what. Coming up on the Chevrolet Intermission Report, the plays of the month for December we had a lot to choose from. Remember, it was 15 games in 31 days, so we'll have that on the Chevrolet Intermission Report coming up.
Deb, thanks. Look forward to it. Corey Schneider and the Devils seeking their second win this season here in Montreal. November 28th, the dramatic overtime victory, trying to get the game tied. Here, shot by Merrill is blocked away by the goaltender Condon. Taken back by Montreal, and here's Lars Eller. Into the Devils zone, fires in. Took it off the backboard, but this deflects out of play. Mark Barberio was given a second shot to play in the National Hockey League with Montreal. For those of you who are capologists, look at this. His AHL salary is $350,000. The NHL salary is a cap bargain of $600K, and he's played well. What's great about his return here, he said no to a hotel room after being called up. He's sleeping in the same bedroom he did as a kid. He was raised in nearby Kirkland. All the comforts of home. Off the faceoff. Canadians get it back, and Subban sends it in. He had 3 years with the Tampa Bay Lightning, Mark Barberio. Got him on the first day of free agency. Here's Farnham racing into the zone. Pokes it ahead, steered away by the goaltender Condon. Bobby Farnham takes a loose puck, centering try. He had Giante in front, but it was broken up. Now Subban across for Pacioretty. The give to Gallagher, and now Beaulieu steps up. Shoot, save made by Schneider.
Oh, big right pad save for Corey Schneider. Beaulieu found himself all kinds of time as the pucks dropped to him as he steps into one.
Henrique loads the gun for Stepniak, who shanked the shot, and now into the circle. Sislo works it loose. Stepniak turns, shoots, and that's denied by Condon again. Beaulieu. Good pressure here by this unit. Sislo with Stepniak and Henrique. Stempniak in the corner, checked by Plekanec, taken by Henrique. Back to the point for Merrill. Thought about shooting, plays it to the circle instead. Stempniak across for Severson. Back for Merrill. Steps up. Wrist shot is blocked by Gallagher. But it comes to Severson, who's got it for the Devils. Across for Stempniak, and it deflects away from him. Henrique stays with the play. Beaulieu now. Looks to get it out of the zone. He cannot. John Merrill gobbles up the loose puck, plays it behind goal. Henrique, return pass from Merrill, intercepted and cleared. Canadians really need a change. They'll get it.
Yeah, we've seen the Devils with some real good offensive zone time the last 5 minutes of this game, trying to get the equalizer.
And Condon will just stop play. 6.5 to go in the second.
Look at a couple of opportunities both ways. This is the defenseman Beaulieu. He finds himself an open lane. Big save from Corey Schneider. And he kicks the rebound to the side. Let's look one more time. There's he actually got the arm down, Steve. And I think the blocker saved there. And then Adam Henrique feeds Lee Stempniak. Gets blocked from Subban, who comes out and makes the play there. But the Devils' good zone time, having a tough time finding lanes to get it through. Very similar to what Detroit did against them. It looks like the Canadians are making more of a concerted effort than I've seen them in the past as far as really blocking out the middle of the ice in the offensive zone.
Some of it stems from the Price injury, that they've allowed more goals than you'd think. 102 coming into tonight. Punched out of the slot by Gelinas. Gloved down in the defensive zone by Kalinin and played by Montreal. Alexei Emelin. Cross-ice pass for Flynn, who banks it into the Devils' end. And Gelinas with Devontae Smith-Pelly coming hard. Able to get rid of it in time, and Tuomo-Ruutu banks it ahead. Barberio on the puck, plays it ahead. Mitchell into the Devils' zone, where Schneider leaves this for Adam Larson. Gelinas ahead for Ruutu. Trying to scoop up the loose puck. Zajac couldn't do it cleanly. Taken back here by Carr from Montreal. Daniel Carr, the rookie winner in the Devils' zone. Canadians stay with it. Taken by Galchenyuk. Back to the point. That shot fired by Petrie and a stop by Schneider. Gloved down by Petrie, but the Devils knock it out to center.
Well, that's a big save again from Schneider. He just picked that puck up, Steve, when it was right in front of him. And he reacted quickly to make the save on the blast from the point from Petrie.
Markov banks it out to center. Taken here by Carr. To the Devils line. Smith-Pelly couldn't control it. Salusti's on it for the Devils. Racing into the zone, Andrighetto. On the forecheck with Gelinas back. Now Carr. Tied up in the corner. Sven Andrighetto. Trying to draw the puck loose here for Montreal. Staying with him. Andy Green. Comes out to Plekanec. The redirect by Andrighetto. Broken up by the Devils. There's a stick broken on the ice as New Jersey and Palmieri. Zajac for Talusti. Talusti tried to drop it back for Severson, but it's off the mark.
Well, you'd like to see even Travis Zajac shoot from the wing there. Keep firing pucks.
Here's 2-2 on the puck. Tried to send it towards goal. He was slowed up, and Beaulieu plays it ahead. Pacioretty on the attack here. Centering try, and the redirect in front for Desharnais wouldn't go. Golden opportunity for the Canadians there as this deflects off Giunta, and Condon will play it. 4 minutes to go in the second. Puck taken here by Farnham. His shot blocked away by Beaulieu. And Eller back the other way for the Canadians. Lars Eller motors into the zone, goes wide on Severson. Eller continues. That pass into the corner connects with Desharnais. David Desharnais centering try for Eller. Still loose, and Eller's shot is saved by Schneider. Eller centering try. Got by everyone, collected by Desharnais. This line creating some havoc. And the Canadians just couldn't navigate a broken stick. And we'll sort out a penalty call when we come back. Major development here in Montreal. The Canadians have been awarded a penalty shot. Jordan Tootoo was guilty of shooting a stick. He shot the broken stick towards the player with the puck, and now David Desharnais will face Corey Schneider on a penalty shot.
Oh, my. And Jordan Tootoo was just trying to clear it, I think. I think he was unaware of the rule. Watch right here. There's the broken stick. And, you know, I don't think he's trying to shoot that at Desharnais, but regardless, he's trying to clear it. He has to be aware that it had no bearing on what was going to happen. However, Desharnais gets a penalty shot out of the situation.
Corey Schneider's faced 3 penalty shots so far this season. He stopped all 3. 3:29 to go, second period. And a big swing moment here in Montreal as Desharnais takes the penalty shot for the Canadiens. He's in on Corey Schneider. Backhand, and he shot it wide.
Well, Jordan Tootoo can breathe a big sigh of relief there as Desharnais comes in. And he goes to the backhand, tries to go upstairs over the glove of Corey Schneider, and he misses by a large margin, well over the net. And that's a fortunate turn of events as well for the Devils, as strange as that play was, Steve. And you see Jordan Tootoo, I mean, I don't think he was even aware of the rule at the time for sure, because obviously he's not going to do that if he thinks, and I think the referee deemed he shot the stick toward the Montreal player in the corner. However, I don't know if that was his intent. Nonetheless, Devils dodge a bullet and still trail 1-0.
Well, clearly he was unaware, because Tootoo went to the penalty box, and then the referee said, no, just go to the bench. It's a penalty shot. So the Devils stave off that chance as this deflects away, and the puck taken by Zajac. Now let's see if they can make the most of keeping this a 1-goal game. Initially, they start with an icing call. 3:19 to go in the period.
Well, they have to use that as a momentum builder here, Steve. It's coming on 5 periods. They haven't scored a goal, yet they're staying in games. They're playing hard. Now you're missing your top goal scorer the last couple of nights, or top point getter, Mike Cavallari. John Moore's out. You use him on the power play. It's a whole different look. This is a type of game where you got to scratch, you got to claw, find a way to manufacture a goal. And to me, when you get a chance, shoot the puck.
Here's Petrie off the face-off for the Canadiens. Centering try. Green broke that up. Puck taken by Toulouse. His cross-ice pass picked up by Kyle Palmieri. Shooting save made by Condon. Popped up high, and Mitchell. And Petrie and the Canadiens look to clear the zone. There's Green initially holding, and now it comes back to Larson. Devils in their last trip here. Remember, came back from 2 down to defeat the Canadiens. Deficit is 1 here tonight. Palmieri works it across. Puck taken here by Matteau, and his shot is fired wide. Merrill holds the zone, punches it back in for New Jersey. Behind the net, Petrie plays it ahead. Flynn for Markov. Canadiens break out. Here's Desharnais stepping up, shooting, and a save by Schneider.
Well, now we're getting another penalty call, and this time it's going against the Canadiens.
Desharnais for interference.
And now it looks like Devontae Smith-Pelly going to the bench. Desharnais was looking up to the rafters as he had a partial 2-on-1. We'll watch right here, Kanji. There's the 2-on-1. Canadiens move the puck up ice quickly. Look how far Corey Schneider comes out of his crease and cuts the angle down. As Stefan Matteau is getting back, he took that 2-on-1 away. John Merrill stays in the middle, and Corey Schneider, all he had to do is focus on the drive from Desharnais, makes another big save, and here we go. The Devils on the power play get a chance to try and even this game up. 2:25 left in the second period, and they're going to need to do more than they have in their first few opportunities. Kanji, as they haven't had too many good chances.
1 shot on the first 2 power play opportunities. This Devils power play is brought to you by Barnabas Health. Played back to the point, taken here by Severson. To the stick of Stempniak. Eamon Severson, his shot off 2-2 and cleared by the Canadiens.
Yeah, that stung Jordan Tootoo. David Severson, I like his thought process. He gets it to the middle of the ice and he blasts it. Unfortunately, that hit Tootoo.
They drop it back for Stefan Matteau. Stempniak over the line. Banks it off the boards, continues on. Has to navigate his way around Subban. No easy task, and now 3 Devils converge on the puck in the corner. Taken back by the Devils and played to the point. Severson across for Kalinin. Off Severson's stick and out of the zone. Look out as Byron is on the loose puck here. Short-handed. Byron in front. They score. Torrey Mitchell short-handed for a 2-0 lead.
Well, the Devils get careless here on the power play. An errant pass inside the Canadiens' blue line goes out to the neutral zone, and Byron, who's a dangerous player, short-handed, he's usually involved in their short-handed opportunities. He makes a real good play as David Severson goes sprawling to the ice trying to block the shot and or pass, and Byron delays, holds on the puck, a little drag. He makes a beautiful play to the middle of the ice and feeds a cutting Flynn for the open net. And boy, is that a killer. With 1:33 left, Canadiens take a 2-0 lead on the shorthanded goal from Torrey Mitchell. My mistake, I said Flynn, but it was Torrey Mitchell.
6th of the year for Torrey Mitchell, shorthanded. And still 1:05 to go on the Devils' power play. Green lost possession of the puck, and Eller plays it in deep. Here's Jelena back in his own end. Green works it ahead. Over the line, Palmieri, but knocked off his stick by Beaulieu. Look out, bouncing puck at center, nearly collected by Eller, and he continues on again, but trapped in the zone was Flynn, and Montreal's offside.
The Devils having a tough time gaining control of the puck in a little disarray, and a lot of this has to do with, Steve, the absence of Camilleri, John Moore, guys that are accustomed to being on the power play. You get different units, different players getting their first opportunities or that don't play the power play much, and it's tough to find cohesiveness. It's not making an excuse. It's just a fact that they've been out of sync here on their power play chances, and in fact give up a shorthanded goal because of it.
Power play continues. Zajac winds it around. Green punches it back in deep. Here's Travis behind the net. Works it away from Markov. Henrique tried to feed it back to the point. Now the Devils get it to Andy Green. He gives to Henrique. Jelena steps up and shoots. He rifled it wide. Loose up the side of the net. And a quick whistle there as Zajac and Henrique are in the middle of all this.
Buchanan and Henrique giving each other a couple of cross checks back and forth, and you know, frustration maybe setting in a little bit here as the Devils haven't scored well. There's the one-time blast from Jelena. He just misses short side. Got to try to get that puck on net, and then you see Adam Henrique standing his ground, and you certainly want to see that as it bounces off the end boards and back to Condon there as he doesn't quite cover up there, although the whistle's blown.
6 seconds left on the penalty to Devontae Smith-Pelly. Face-off won by Montreal and taken here by Emelin. Subban gets it as far as center ice. John Merrill works it ahead for Farnham. Teams back to 5-on-5. Farnham and the Devils gain the zone, but they're met by Montreal as it's punched away. Here's Merrill for the Devils at center. He'll lift in with 10 seconds to go in the period. Banked out to center. And as the second period expires, the Devils are looking at the same mountain they successfully climbed in their last trip here. A 2-goal deficit when the third period gets underway. Deb with Brendan Gallagher of the Canadiens on the Chevrolet second intermission report coming up.
The New Jersey Devils intermission report is presented by Chevrolet. Find new roads. Find out.
Adam Larson and the Devils host the Bruins at Prudential Center Friday, January 8th at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today by visiting NewJerseyDevils.com/tickets. Boston coming off a tough loss against the Washington Capitals in their last game. Let's check out the second period highlights. Canadiens extended the lead in the period. Here's Dano.
They did. Devils 5 periods now without a goal, but they have an opportunity here. Short-handed. Travis Zajac on the breakaway. Puck goes out in as he pulls into his forehand. He shoots that way over the top of the net. And then the Canadians go the other way. You see Petrie with the shot there. And Beaulieu for the Canadians sneaks in from the point, gets the drop pass. Big save there from Corey Schneider, as the defenseman had all kinds of time. Adam Henrique on the forecheck creates the turnover, feeds Stempniak. And there's where you see the Devils just let it out of sync. That puck kind of handcuffs Stempniak. He's unable to get that shot on net. It was blocked. But right there you see Tutu swipe the broken stick toward Desharnais. They're awarded a penalty shot, the Canadians are. And Desharnais goes backhand over the net. So the Devils still alive here, but on the power play late in the period, beautiful play from Byron to Torrey Mitchell to give the Canadians a 2-0 lead as he delayed and did the toe drag to the middle. Set up Mitchell beautifully on an errant pass from the Devils in the offensive zone.
We have a second before the period gets underway. Central Division All-Stars. Here is the team of 11 put together today. Patrick Kane will captain. Jamie Benn, Matt Duchene, Sagan, Tarasenko, Taves, Bufflin, Yossi, Weber, Dubnyk, and Rene are the goaltenders. And then rounding it all out, Pacific Division, the controversial voting in of John Scott as that team's captain. Gaudreau, Hall, Pavelski, Perry, Daniel Sedin added today with the defenseman Brett Birds, Doughty, Giordano. John Gibson is the goaltender to go along with Jonathan Quick. And those are your all-stars for Team Pacific. Third period is set to begin here. Just going back to the penalty shot that was awarded. Just looking through the rule book between periods, we believe what's being applied was Rule 56.6, which says when a penalty shot is awarded if a player in control of the puck in the attacking zone has no other player to pass other than the goaltender, is interfered with any piece of equipment that is directed his way, then a penalty shot will be awarded. Postgame should be interesting tonight. Maybe we'll get further clarification on what the officials told John Hines. Bottom line, 2-0, third period underway. Pass deflects off Salusti's stick. John Merrill on the puck here for the Devils, gets it away from Brendan Gallagher, and this is fired in. Devils in their last visit here, November 28th. We're trailing 2-0 with 9 minutes left in regulation time, and then the comeback began. Sislo giving chase in the corner. Gets the puck to Stempniak. Guides it back for Andy Green. Sends it towards goal. They score, and tripled by Condon. And there's the breakthrough for the Devils. They cut the deficit in half. It's 2-1.
Well, finally the Devils get themselves on the board. It's their first goal now after the fifth period, early in the third here of the second game against the Canadiens. The quick wrist shot from the point, and that is redirected up high from Adam Henrique, and he breaks his 11-game goal drought. I believe it's going to be credited to him as Sislo parks himself in front as well. But I think Adam Henrique up high gets a piece of this puck, and that's the way you have to score goals. Boy, it's tough. If these goaltenders see it, you got to screen, you got to get redirections. And the shot for the point was quick. No hesitation, wasn't blocked, and the Devils get themselves on the board.
Let's see how they credit the goal, because Sislo is still looking for his first in the NHL. Flynn, backhander, saved by Corey Schneider. Taken here by Mitchell, behind the net. Tries to bank it off Schneider. That's defended well by the Devils, and Larson plays this for Stempniak. They're giving the goal to Adam Henrique, his 14th of the year, and for Adam, that snaps an 11-game drought. Tumbling into the zone is Lee Stempniak for New Jersey as Subban darts back the other way from Montreal and gives to Galchenyuk. PK Subban back for Galchenyuk as Matteau stays close to him. Knocks it off his stick. There's Jelena. And the Devils take it away, but Matteau, with help from Ruutu, got it out of the zone.
Oh, I'm sure Kanji Adam Henrique feels a little sigh of relief, but he always seems to score clutch goals. Let's see how big that one is if the Devils come back here.
Galchenyuk, nice move around Matteau, and it's knocked off his stick by Merrill. Kalinin was there to help as well. Barberio from Montreal shovels behind the net, and Galchenyuk is on the puck. Merrill battling with Carr deep in the zone. Kalinin trying to use his body to get it away from Andrighetto. Canadians work it back. Banking it off the boards is Barberio, and there's Schneider to alertly cover it up at the side of goal.
Our RoboCam replay is brought to you by the new Buick. Buick, your kind of luxury. Devils are going to get on the board to cut the lead to 2-1 for Montreal. You see the quick wrist shot from the point, and Adam Henrique with the beautiful tip up high just in the top of the... He's sitting in the face-off circle to the right of goaltender Mike Condon. And what a redirection. Give Mike Sislo a lot of credit on the goal as well as he screened. Condon unable to pick that puck up. And the Devils get on the board. We've got ourselves a hockey game now. Lots of time left in the third here, Kanji. And the Devils feeling maybe a little better about themselves here.
Adam Henrique, first goal since December 6th. As we mentioned, an 11-game drought. It comes 50 seconds into the period. Andy Green is getting the lone assist on the goal by Henrique. 17 and a half to go. Face-off is to the left of Schneider, and it's won back by Zajac. Picked up by Kyle Palmieri for the Devils. He'll dump in. Tulosti will give chase. Deep in the zone, Tulosti, but Petrie gets it away from him. Lines it to the stick of Gallagher. Sends Plekanec on his way. Top line for the Canadians. Back out. Shot by Gallagher. Blocked away. Batted down in front. They're going to wave it off immediately. No goal.
Well, this is close for sure. Andy Green blocks the first attempt from the Canadians, comes right back. And I think it's to Pacioretty. He shoots the second time.
Goal is disallowed due to high sticking the puck.
And then Thomas Plekanec knocks it out of midair. Let's take a look one more time. Puck bouncing everywhere as the Canadians gain control. There's the shot from Gallagher. Not Pacioretty. Andy Green blocks it. And then it comes right back. Let's look one more time. Plekanec passes it back to Gallagher. He shoots. Puck's up in the air. That looks like... Let's look one more time to get a good overview. And there's no question that stick is over the crossbar from Thomas Plekanec as he bats it out of midair. So I think this call on the ice is going to stand of no goal for the Montreal Canadiens.
The headset is off. And here we go.
After video review, call on the ice is confirmed, no goal.
Tom Kowal agrees with Dano, and so do the folks in the Situation Room in Toronto.
The Montreal faithful don't agree regardless of the call. They have a boo, but the Devils dodge another bullet, I guess you'd say, and trail only 2-1.
We're seeing a lot of things here tonight. Yemelin has it for Montreal, plays it behind goal. Eller drops it back to the point. Barberio with a shot off Corey Schneider's glove and collected by Severson. Lars Eller plays it back into the corner. Desharnais hit by Severson. Punched out of the zone by Tutu. No, it was kept alive by Barberio. Still loose behind the net, and Eller plays it back for Barberio. Under some pressure, and Farnham got it away from him. Bobby Farnham continuing on, slowed up by Barberio, and controlled by the Canadians. Farnham going for the loose puck, but Alexei Yemelin gets it away from him. Here's John Merrill. Sends into the Canadian zone. This is an icing call against New Jersey.
We're seeing a lot of bounces of pucks, Steve, and there this time it originally bounced in the Devils' zone. Gallagher gets initial shot, and Andy Green blocks it, comes right back to Gallagher, and fortunate for the Devils, the high stick of Plekanec knocks the puck in the net, but it was no goal.
Face-off won back by Henrique, and Jelena, with help from Farnham, gets it out to center, and Tutu will send Adam Henrique on his way. Subban is there to deal with him. Subban lost his edge, right back up, and twirls away from traffic. Picks up Galchenyuk at center. Across for Carr. Back towards the point where Subban plays it in deeper. Collected here by Galchenyuk. Comes off the boards with it. Galchenyuk looking to set up a shot. Taken away by Sislo instead. Here's Mike Sislo back for the Devils. Goes wide. Shoots. Glove stop by Condon. And he holds on. Andy Green tonight, we mentioned 600th NHL game. This is also his 270th consecutive game. That's 6th on the Devils' all-time list and 2nd among defensemen. Mandana with 388 stole the franchise record for a defenseman. Travis Zajac, the only Devil to play in 400 straight.
Not easy to play a full season anymore. Andrew, with the speed of the game and pucks flying everywhere, how hard these guys shoot nowadays. So, you know, it's a credit to Andy Green. Congratulations on his, not only his 600th game, but his Iron Man streak, because it is an Iron Man streak these days when you get close to 300 straight games. It's not easy to do.
PK Subban is playing in game number 248 consecutively for Montreal, as there's an offside call here on the Canadiens' rush. And there is PK Subban, dynamic player, but with half a season played. Consider that injured Devils defenseman David Schlemko has 4 times the number of goals as PK Subban, who is stuck on 1, remarkably. Whole lot of assists to go with this season, though. Off the faceoff. Banked in by Brendan Gallagher. Pacioretty winds it around. Plekanec lays it back to Barberio. Redirected by Gallagher, but the Devils get on the loose puck here. And it's shoveled out of the zone by Green. Bomo Ruutu tied up at center by the defenseman Yemelin, who's hauled down. Barberio to the stick of Pacioretty. Max Pacioretty tried to throw it in front for Gallagher, but broken up by New Jersey. Bouncing puck taken by Ruutu and swiped out of the zone. Better than 5 minutes played here in the third. Yemelin on the puck. Devils looking to get right back in the win column. After a 3-game winning streak was snapped Monday against Detroit. Mitchell sees the puck worked away by Severson, but there's Markov to play it across. Petrie steps up, shoots, save made in front, and the rebound taken away by Palmieri. Salusti off to the races. There's a player down for New Jersey, and that's Eric Gelinas shaken up.
Well, Eric dropped his stick as well. I'm not sure if it was a puck or an errant stick that caught him up high. You see him spitting some blood out of the mouth, I believe. Let's take a look, as there's all kinds of players in front. He battles Gallagher. Oh, right there, the helmet you see right there of Torrey Mitchell goes right into the chops of Eric Gelinas, and that, no question, is going to hurt. That stung, as you saw the helmet as he was falling forward. Torrey Mitchell going to the front of it right there. Bam. Oh, boy. I just saw it on the overhead screen and reacted as well, Steve. And that was a pretty good collision. So I hope Eric Gelinas is all right. Devils already down a defenseman in John Moore. But he took the brunt of the helmet of Torrey Mitchell in front of the net. Completely accidental, as Mitchell's doing his job going to the front of the net, or trying to get to that loose puck.
Good man, Eric Gelinas. Stays on the bench. Rich Stiziato conversing with him. And the faceoff is outside the Canadian zone here. Crowd reacted as well when they saw it on the big board here, which is a terrific, large HD set that we look at, and we enjoy it every time.
I'd like to watch some movies from there.
There's a temptation for us to call the game sometimes off the scoreboard. It's terrific stuff here. They'll cover up some ice. That's the big board here in Montreal that debuted several years ago. Terrific folks at Prudential Center have something great back in Newark as well. We very often take advantage of that. But here we go as we continue on with 14:28 left in the third. The shots 21-16 in favor of Montreal. Canadiens lead 2-1. Glad you joined us tonight on MSG+. Desharnais knocked down in the Devil zone. He's checked by John Merrill. Over to help Zajac as well. Puck battle continues, and it squirts loose. Palmieri trying to control, but Eller sees a pass taken away by Palmieri, and now Severson will bank it ahead. Salusti motors into the Canadian zone. Puck still loose at the side of the net. Eller there to lift it away from Montreal. Pass intended for Desharnais, but the icing is nullified. Desharnais checked by Severson. Palmieri on the puck for New Jersey, and back come the Devils the other way. Here's Zajac. Backhands it in deep. Palmieri and Farnham cross up, and Subban gets rid of it. Devils in the midst of a change. They get the Giunta line out now. Steven Giunta slows up Andrighetto at center, and it's played back for Larson. Green ahead for Giunta. He'll fire in. Farnham trying to get to the loose puck, but Beaulieu got it away from him. Icing is waved off again as Green is back to play. Here's the Devils captain playing it for Larson. The duo reunited for tonight's game. They pick up Farnham at center. Here's Bobby Farnham across for 2-2. Wrist shot, save made, and Condon will hold on. And there's Farnham and Subban behind goal.
Now you see the good breakout pass from Adam Larson from his own zone. Devils get a shot. Bobby Farnham involved in front of the Canadiens net. Devils trail 2-1.
Okay, Cadillac trivia question. Other than Corey Schneider, which goaltenders in Devils history have been selected to the All-Star game? We're being told there are 4 more. The ones we know, Brodeur and Resch. What do you have, Dano? Save us.
I'm going Van Beesbrook, Marty Brodeur, obviously, Sean Burke, and have I got too many now? Sidorkiewicz. No, I got too many. I think I named 5 along with
Well,
Corey.
we're wrong. You got Burke. Craig Billington.
John Van Beesbrook never went to an All-Star game. That surprises me.
Not as a Devil.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I thought, yes, not as a Devil. When did Craig Billington go? I didn't realize he did.
Research is on that.
I apologize. I thought it was a trick question again. I didn't pay attention. I thought a former Devils goaltenders.
Sometimes they just come at you with the high hard one as this deflects into the Canadian zone, and it's taken here by Petrie ahead for Plekanec.
I'll butcher him every once in a while.
Gallagher into the Devils zone.
I just hope our fans got it right, Steve.
We've got some smart cookies back in New Jersey. Face-off is in the neutral zone. Here, 12 and a half to go. Boy, they've worked hard tonight. They lost a defenseman, John Moore, back in the first period. Lost Tyler Kennedy in warm-ups. Jelena shaken up just a few minutes ago. Sometimes these can be the proudest moments of the year. Kyle Palmieri was reflecting on that earlier today. The first trip here to Montreal this year. Playing the Canadiens back-to-back nights and coming back in the November 28th game to win it in overtime. Here's Mitchell and Zajac to take the draw to the right of Condon. Won by the Devils, but we're going to do this again, apparently.
You know, talking about that, Steve, the Devils have made some mistakes tonight, and they've been a little out of sync, whether it be on the power play with their passes connecting. We saw the shorthanded goal was evident as well on the Canadian second goal of the disconnection. But the Devils have shown all season long, haven't they, that they are a resilient club that will battle you to the end. And
Flynn shooting, save by Schneider. He juggles, but he holds on.
yeah, good save from Corey, but to finish that they'll make it tough, and they've come back. We've seen them come back. You mentioned the 2-0 comeback against the Canadiens here and the dramatic overtime win the last time in Montreal. So you got to really love the way this team, regardless of who's in the lineup, missing some key pieces, they're going to scratch and claw and fight you to the end. Yes, at times they're lacking as much high-end skill as some other clubs have, but they play hard, and you got to respect that. They're only losing 2-1 here. They've got one back in the third. We'll see if they can complete the comeback.
Green banks it ahead. Pass got by Farnham, but icing is waved off. Alexei Yemelin in his own end. Pass for Desharnais, deflected right back to Yemelin. Puck gets by the stick of Eric Jelena, and John Merrill back in his own zone has it for the Devils. Under 12 minutes to play here in the third. 2-1 game. Merrill banks it ahead. Giunta on the puck for the Devils. They're met at the line. Yemelin able to get it back out, and the Devils offside on the re-entry. You saw John Hines a moment ago. Remember, the Devils lost. They got shut out Monday night, but the coach was saying he really liked the response from the group coming off the Dallas win. And even Corey Schneider was saying, frustrating to see the win streak come to an end. But nobody hated the way they played. The mood was upbeat on Monday night. They just never broke through and scored.
You think you get frustrated when you don't score. It's going to happen in the 82-game schedule. In fact, it's going to happen more than once, because it's happened 3 times. The Devils have been shut out. However, you look at your body of work, how you played, and I thought they competed and played real hard and had chances against Detroit. Some nights it just doesn't work out. They lost a tough one, 1-0. And we'll see here again. They can find a way to get something out of this game.
Carr, checked by Kalinin in the Devils' end. Works the puck loose. Severson banks it ahead and out of the zone for New Jersey, and it's played by Subban in his own zone. Aaron passed right to Larson, who came off the bench, and it's scooped up at center ice by Stefan Matteau. Motors into the zone, shoots, and he rifled a wrist shot over the crossbar. Picked up by Subban, who has it for the Canadiens. Punches it ahead. Gallagher for Pacioretty. They're onside. Return pass. Gallagher shot. Saved by Schneider. And he covers before Plekanec can do anything.
Well, that looked like it was very close to offside. Max Pacioretty from up here, my vantage point. However, right there, as he picks that pass up, and I'm not sure if he's offside or not, nonetheless, he feeds Gallagher, gets the quick wrist shot. Boyd Schneider makes the save, leaves no rebound as Thomas Plekanec is coming in hard, looking for the second opportunity.
Canadians win the faceoff. Markov shot, wristed wide of the net. Sislo can't get it out of the zone. Pacioretty banked it wide of the net. Plekanec to the corner. Gallagher fended off by Larson, and the puck taken by John Merrill for the Devils. Works it ahead. Here's Sislo getting a step on his man. Sislo shooting, and he missed the mark.
Oh boy, what a move from Mike Sislo to give himself a break as he danced around a defenseman, made it a 2-on-1, but the Devils, you see now twice, ripping pucks high. They're trying to go upstairs, Steve, maybe getting a little too fine. Stefan Matteau had a blast the shift earlier, and Mike Sislo got a lot of that wrist shot, but he whistled it over the net.
Subban lifts it ahead, glove down by Green at center, and he banks it into the Canadian zone where Palmieri is on it. Loose behind the net. Puck taken away. Markov. There's Severson, who delivered a hit on Mitchell, who was shaken up. He's back to his skates. Controlled here at center. And Zajac settles the puck down for New Jersey. Here's Travis over the line. Zajac steps up, shoots. Came off the backboard. Palmieri with a chance, and it went wide. Zajac continuing on. Works it loose. Palmieri once again. Puck jarred away from him. And Byron banks it out of the zone. Severson plays this ahead. Devils careful to avoid the too many men on the ice call as it's played back to Barberio. 9 1/4 minutes left. Barberio picks up Desharnais. Tries to make a move around Larson, who broke it up. Farnham jars the puck loose, and here's Jelinek for Gianta. He's met at the blue line, but now support from Jordan Tutu. Plays this to Larson. Larson plays it into the corner. Taken off the boards here by Farnham, who turns, shoots, and that's blocked away in front. Barberio broke it up, and the pass sends Eller on his way.
Well, Devils have picked up the pace a little bit here, Steve. Coming in the Montreal zone with some speed and trying to create some offensive chances. Missed the net we talked about a couple of times. They're going to have to press here with 8:30 left in the third period. Down 2-1.
Galchenyuk plays it across. Andrighetto steers it into the Devils' end where Merrill is back. Gets it away from Carr. But Daniel Carr continuing on, and the Devils punch it across here. Severson for Sislo. Here's Mike Sislo. Sending it in deep. Stepniak and Henrique are on with him. Puck taken in front here by the Canadians, and back the other way they come. Galchenyuk over the Devils' line for Beaulieu. Steps up, shoots, that's off a stick, and it went wide of the net. It caroms around, picked up by Sislo. Devils back the other way. Here's Stepniak, steps up, shoots, and that's off a stick out of play. Under 8 minutes to go. The pace quickens. Can the Devils tie it? Under 8.
The game are brought to you by GMC. See the pros nearest you to test drive one of their award-winning trucks, crossovers, and SUVs today. GMC, we are professional grade. And the Canadians open up the scoring on the power play. Beautiful feed from Plekanec to Pacioretty. He redirects that one past Boyd Schneider. Then shorthanded late in the second period. Torrey Mitchell from a beautiful feed play from Paul Byron makes it 2-0. And then to start the third period, the shot from the point, quick wrist shot from Andy Green, tipped up high and redirected from Adam Henrique. And that's where we stand. Those are your GMC plays of the game.
Pacioretty for Montreal. Plays it behind goal. Picked up here by Toulouse. Pass across off the stick of Larson, who fires in. And this puck deflected out as we get a stoppage with 7:35 to go. Devils have 17 shots tonight. The only goal, the deflection from Henrique on the shot by Green, who's passed Ken Daneyko on the all-time assist.
No, points.
Points
I believe.
among defensemen. You are correct.
I think he might. Did he tie me? He needs one more. I don't know. Something along those lines. Who's counting? I was never known for points, as we know, Steve. But good for Andy Green, because I know he's going to go by me.
He's got some career left in him, too. Here's Green ahead. Off the stick of Kalinin. Alexei Yemelin back in his own zone. Kicked at by Kalinin. Trying to get it away from Lars Eller. Sent in deep. Now Matteau delivers a hit on Yemelin. Canadians under some pressure here, and it's punched right back in. Jelena got it to the goaltender Condon, who steered it aside. Now Yemelin. Puck rides the shelf, and it comes out of the zone. It's a foot race. Merrill back. Eller is there. And the puck battle now in the Devils zone. Desharnais takes it. Shot there from the side by Devontae Smith-Pelly is stopped by Schneider. Jelena in his own end with John Merrill as the puck's jarred loose by Eller. Matteau collides with his man Mitchell. The play by Merrill deflected off the official behind the net, nearly creating a chance for the Canadians as this is worked ahead here for Gianta. Steven Gianta met at the line by Markov. And Mitchell plays it back, and the Canadians work this ahead. Off the stick of Smith-Pelly. At the opposite side, Flynn winds it around. Devontae Smith-Pelly couldn't hold the zone, and Beaulieu takes it at center. Approaching 6 minutes to go in regulation of a 2-1 game. Beaulieu fires in. Green takes it off the boards, but here comes Brendan Gallagher. Look at Green. Handle the puck out of midair, but he's still under pressure. Plekanec and Gallagher there. Devils work it ahead. Farnham, with help from Henrique, sees the Devils get it away, and now Severson fires in. PK Subban plays it behind the net. Henrique crashing into the zone. Couldn't pick up the puck, and Subban will lift it back the other way. Under pressure is Larson. Lost control. Plekanec will send it in deep. Severson do all he can to tie up Pacioretty as the puck comes out to center. Here's Markov. Fires in. Jelena off the skate. Gives here to Larson. Puck winds around, but it got by Stempniak. Larson plays it ahead, but the puck's out of the zone, and Markov lost control, gave it back to Zajac. Here's Travis Zajac over the line, shooting that went off the side of the net as deflected off a Canadian stick. Feathered in deep here by Toulouse. Now Zajac gives back to Toulouse. Devils frantically trying to get the game tied. Loose along the near boards. Palmieri back towards the point. There's Merrill shooting, blocked away in front. Toulouse with the follow-up try, but Mike Condon covers and makes the save. 4:41 to go. Hold on to your hat. A reminder, the Jag Physical Therapy postgame immediately following the action here in Montreal. Highlights, Dano's breakdown, John Hines press conference, all coming your way. There's Andy Green. His 178th point has tied Ken Daneyko for 6th all-time among Devils defensemen. Just to clarify what we were talking about earlier.
I hope he keeps climbing up the ladder, and in fact, I hope he goes past me, Steve, tonight, obviously, as the Devils desperately try to get something out of this game, down 2-1 now with 4:41 left.
Zajac line gets another shot here. That's Palmieri to his right, Toulouse to his left, Severson and Merrill, the defensemen. Face-off won by the Devils. Palmieri helped in that. Merrill sent it into the corner. Puck taken here by Palmieri. Played behind the net. Toulouse's got it and drops it back to Severson. Across for Merrill. His shot fired wide. Taken off the boards here by Toulouse. Behind the net, Palmieri. Couldn't control it cleanly, and the Canadians punch it out of the zone. Here's Pacioretty. Met by a couple of Devils. Continues and plays into the corner here for Gallagher. Severson on it for New Jersey. Canadians execute a change. Severson picks up Zajac. Sends it into the zone. Glove down by Markov, who sends it back the other way. Kyle Palmieri trying to control the bouncing puck. Loose in the Devils zone. Taken off the boards by Desharnais. Off Andy Green's stick. He's got Byron coming hard on him. Green gets it away. Palmieri under some pressure from Yemelin, and the puck scooted out of the zone here by Adam Henrique. Subban back to collect for the Canadians. Here's PK Subban. Reverses course with it, and now picks up Eller. Fires wide of the net, and Green plays it ahead. Stempniak gets it away from Smith-Pelly. Plays it across. Here's Jelena. Stick handling into the zone. Knocked down by Yemelin. Mitchell winds it around for the Canadians. Flynn in the corner is tied up by Henrique. Adam Henrique and the Devils take it away. They punch it back to the point. Here's Green. Dishing off. Henrique on it. Will send in deep. Matteau at the side of the net. Defended by Yemelin. And Smith-Pelly works it ahead for Mitchell. There's Jelena pinching in. Opposite side, Kalinin comes flying off the bench. Glove down at the point by Green, and he'll send it back in deep. Sergei Kalinin, deep in the zone, comes away with it. Sends to the corner. Matteau for Larson. And Green can't hold the zone. That was a tough puck to play.
Devils doing a good job keeping the play alive along the wall, with keeping pucks in on a clearing attempts from the Canadians. Just unfortunate that one cleared after.
Farnham shooting, and another wrister that's just high of the net. Here's Kalinin. Crosses up with Farnham. Late in the tie game, Farnham on in the efforts to get it even. Here's Kalinin behind the net. Farnham is with him. Larson trying to pinch in and hold the zone, but Carr said no. Toulouse across for Merrill. 2:10 to go in regulation time as John Merrill lifts in, and Petrie from Montreal giving chase, plays it ahead. Andrighetto at center ice, skates it ahead for the Canadians. Sends it off the side of the net. Corey Schneider with some help in front from Zajac, sees the puck get swatted away. Now Green. Severson has it. We'll keep an eye on Schneider. How early does John Hines get the extra attacker on? Zajac met at center. Taken back by Gallagher. Puck controlled here by Andy Green. Under pressure from Pacioretty. Palmieri as the Devils try to get out of their own end here. Under 90 seconds to play. Severson will send Palmieri on his way. Got by Pacioretty, but that's all. And now Damon Severson works it ahead. Sislo has deflected off Palmieri and sent deep into the Canadian zone. Here's Subban, banks it ahead. Schneider is still in the net. Shot from the far side, off the stick of Henrique. Handled by Condon. Schneider to the goal. Devils get the extra attacker on. Into the New Jersey end. Jelena has time. He's got Pacioretty on his tail and gets it away. Here's Merrill, under a minute to play. Stempniak, cross-ice pass. Here's Jelena, trying to work it deep into the zone. Subban ties him up. Farnham comes crashing in. Taken by Desharnais. He has it for the Canadians. Punches it ahead. Eller with the net empty, sends it wide. Henrique for Merrill. 35 seconds for the Devils to work with as Jelena sends it ahead for Palmieri. Henrique tried to fire in. Markov couldn't control it. Here's Palmieri. Shot the puck wide. It caroms around. Controlled by New Jersey. Jelena sends it back in deep. 20 seconds to play. Taken by Palmieri. Centering try. Looking for Henrique. That's broken up. Jelena opts to send it behind goal. It gets by Palmieri. Subban will lift it away from Montreal. Icing negated. Desharnais got there. Broken up. And the final seconds will tick away. They're on their feet at Bell Center. Barely. Canadians hold on to win it 2-1.
Well, another one-goal loss for the Devils in a tight checking hockey game. 2-1 for the Canadians. Devils battled hard in the third, but again fall short, needing to find some offense. And the efforts there, they were shorthanded. Steve, just one mistake shorthanded, or on the power play, cost them the shorthanded goal, in my opinion. And they lose a hard-fought 2-1 game to the Montreal Canadiens. Tonight's goal of the game is brought to you by Nissan. And we're going to look at that game-winning goal, the shorthanded goal from the Canadiens I talked about. The pass from Kalinin to Severson is too far, high and wide, and Canadians go the other way, 2-on-1, and Paul Byron, with great hesitation, hangs onto the puck, patience, pulls it to the middle and finds a cutting Torrey Mitchell on the 2-on-1. That's your Nissan goal of the game, and it ends up being the game-winning goal from Torrey Mitchell shorthanded.
Shortly after Corey Schneider was not scored upon on a Canadiens penalty shot, the postgame is straight ahead.